Yes, you just got home from school and you are so tired. After the day that you had, you don't want to think about school until tomorrow when you have to wake up. But you forgot that you have a biology exam in 2 days that you haven't even started studying for. Well, lucky for you, I'm here to help. Honestly, I just make these studying videos because they motivate me to study and they make studying a lot more fun for me, and I also get to get a video off for you guys. Hi, my name is Livia and welcome back to my channel. I am a straight A student and I've always gotten straight A's. Though I'm only in my freshman year of high school, I've been taking high school classes for 3 years now, and I have not gotten a B in any of them. I typically get high A's. Though that is a high standard, I hold myself by it. Something that I do struggle with is finding motivation and studying when tired. So this video, I'm going to be sharing my study method and a few tips with you on how you can find motivation and study when you're tired. And I really do have a biology exam in 2 days that I haven't studied for. Please let me know if you like this academic content. You seem to like the last academic video that I posted, and if you want me to make more, just let me know, because this honestly just helps me so much with my studies and, you know, really staying on top of my schoolwork. Okay, so yeah, without further ado, let's get into studying. If you watched my other video about studying and where I explain my studying process and my method, I'm going to be kind of differentiating from this one because this time we're tired and unmotivated. Last time I was kind of assuming that you had motivation, and things from that study method will be coming into this one. This one is just more based around finding motivation to study and staying motivated. So my first tip, or step one, is to, find motivation. There are so many different ways to do this, and of course mine isn't going to work for everyone. So my first step is to find motivation, and to find motivation, of course, it's really not that simple, and this step definitely has many separate tips, or I guess sub-steps. And like I just said, this is not going to work for everyone, but it definitely works for me to get me into that kind of studying mood. Honestly, just I am just so bored of studying. Last week I really worked hard with studying, and the week before that, and honestly right now I am just not in the mood for it. So by doing this, I'm going to try to kind of get into that setting. As you can see here, we're in my Pinterest, and I'm just going to first save this image just to make a new board. I'm going to be linking this in the description if you really just want to use my board. Now I'm really just going to scroll through Pinterest and kind of save pins that are going to really help me, you know, get into that study mood, and then I will talk about what I do from there. Okay, so I know this board is quite small, being only 15 pins, but it's really all I personally need to get myself going, I guess. As you can see here, most of these are kind of about pink. I hate it when Pinterest does this, because if it's unavailable, why did you show it to me on my feed and allow me to save it? Sorry, I don't need to get that angry. So I have just cute little pictures of studying. A lot of them is about how getting all A's is so rewarding, and just stuff like that, and how, you know, studying really does get you somewhere. Especially these ones about setting notes, especially this one from this person. These notes just are so pretty, and these ones as well. They just make me feel so aesthetic, and that makes me want to study more. Leaving Pinterest, I am now going to kind of move into the next tip or sub-step of getting motivation, and that is rewarding yourself. So I guess you don't really reward yourself now, but set yourself a reward for whenever you take your test and you finish studying. For me, I don't set it off of the grade that I get. I set it off of getting how hard I try. Personally, with my study method and how much studying I do, I typically get pretty good grades, so it doesn't really apply to me. But and I didn't mean that in a mean way, that's just how I am. I work very hard for the grades that I have, and believe me, you can too with the right motivation and the right goals. But yeah, something that definitely helps me is setting myself a reward. If you have some extra money to spend, I personally like to treat myself and buy something from Sephora, or buy a new manga I've been wanting, or buy a Squishmallow. Honestly, Squishmallow is probably the most common one. I'm addicted to them. And just things like that, or just spending a really, really nice day after you're studying, after your test, or even just a few days after, spending time with your friends, just taking a day to relax and just kind of like get yourself out of the study mood and just like kind of relax and have a day to not think about school and your studies. Another thing is maybe going to your favorite restaurant or your favorite like ice cream shop, your favorite bakery. I like going to this bakery, and after to like kind of reward myself, I find it very rewarding. I personally just love it. But yeah, those are all things that you can do to set your rewards, and they don't have to be big. Like I said, one of them could literally just be, for this day I am just going to work for 1 less hour on my big project. Just things like that. Of course it needs to be reasonable, but you know, just things like that. I'm going to take extra steps to take care of myself, things like that. The final thing in this little subsection is actually like setting down this motivation and writing down your goals. I'm addicted to buying journals, let's be honest, and I have a new one right here, and I am going to go ahead and write down all my goals that I have for this study guide. I'm writing in this journal because the pages are so yellow, and I honestly just I cannot bring myself to write in it for any other reason, any like aesthetic reason. So I'm writing in it now because it's ugly. Setting your goals is as simple as this. As you can see, this is kind of what mine looks like. I have how much time I want to study for, as well as what I need to study on each day. I personally break down all of my studying into different points, or mainly my teacher does it for me. So that's what it means as the first 6 points and the last 6 points. So today, Monday, I am setting my motivation, which honestly takes me a while. It might take you literally 15 minutes. It just really depends on the person. And then I'm going to begin to studying tomorrow and study the first 6 points of what I need to get through, and then study on Wednesday for the last 6 points and also kind of review a little bit, and then review on Thursday for half of an hour. If you watch my other study video, this is when I watch videos and I take notes, things like that. That is literally the last step I have for setting your academic and studying motivation. The rest of this video is kind of going to be me going through and how I feel as I am studying for this test. And I really, really hope that this video is helpful for you because I'm putting a lot of my time into it. And yeah, I'm just really trying to honor you guys' wishes as having more academic videos, and I hope that this is super helpful. Now let's get on to the actual studying. So I just finished writing down my notes for today. Please don't mind that I'm in my pajamas and my giant pimple right here. Just ignore that. So because I don't really want to talk about like how I am studying, because I already covered that in my other video and I don't want to make my videos so repetitive, I'm just going to kind of be talking about how I stayed motivated through that. Something that I definitely did to make the studying process faster and, you know, like more interesting, I kind of watched a video while I did it surrounding the topic. Not the entire time. I also watched a Raw Mango podcast, like podcast video essay, but for some of the time I watched the Amoeba Sisters because I am studying biology. I really like them. There's also a few other channels that I like that I don't quite remember the names of, but yeah. Because this test actually is not that big, I only have had 2 pages of notes right now, and I'm only going to end up having about 4, which normally I have like 6 to 8, so this is good at least. But yeah, anyways, talking about how I stayed motivated, watching the videos was definitely a really good thing. Another thing is the Pomodoro method. Personally, I don't use it, but I want to include it in this video because I know that it is a popular study tool that helps people stay motivated and on track. The Pomodoro method, or the Pomodoro timer, is kind of like the method where you study or work for 25 minutes and then you take a 5-minute break. Personally, I don't like this because so if I'm studying for 25 minutes, I don't want to get out of my flow to take a break and then I have to get back into it, which causes my studying to be longer and more boring. As well as if I'm taking a 5-minute break, I'm going to want it to be longer than 5 minutes, and I'm just going to be disappointed when I have to go back to studying. I personally recommend studying for Even like an hour or 2 hours and really getting through the bulk of your studying, and then taking a quick break to get some water and maybe eat a little snack. But what I don't recommend is like scrolling on your phone. Maybe you're responding to like messages, I typically do that, but like scrolling on your phone through like social media, I don't recommend. This video is all about studying when you're tired, and when you're tired you typically want to lay down and lay in bed, lay in a comfy area, and this is when I especially do not recommend that. When you're studying normally and you have a lot to get through, I sometimes lay in bed to watch videos especially, but for this I recommend doing it completely at your desk if you have a space for that, at your kitchen counter, literally anywhere but your bed or but your relaxing place, because you're already tired. If you are laying in bed or laying in a chair, you're comfy, you're warm, you're like everything, like the perfect setting to fall asleep or scroll on your phone, watch some YouTube or watch a movie or something like that. That is not what you want at all. You want to be studying or working. I apologize for my dog. That is why I recommend sitting at your desk or at your workplace, because it helps your mind stay in the study mode and helps you get through studying faster. That is all these studying things that I have for today, but tomorrow I'm going to do more studying and talk about this more. I just finished studying all my biology. It is the next day. Please do not mind that I am still in the same clothes from yesterday. I went to school today, but whenever I came back, I just put on the same pajamas. Just ignore that. So yeah, I actually did not have a lot to study for today, or like in this video. I just had 3 pages of notes, and this one is just like half of a page. And while I've been doing this, I've been watching like some true crime. But yesterday I kind of talked about how I stay motivated throughout like the bulk of my studying, and now I'm just going to kind of do like a recap on how you can, like, you know, stay motivated and study whenever you're tired. I didn't say this yesterday or before in any of this video, but another thing that I recommend is having like maybe a little snack by you. For me, it definitely makes studying a lot more enjoyable. When you're on a time crunch, I also just recommend only studying the things that you really need to study. I actually have 2 tests this Friday, and I've only made this video about studying for one of them. I haven't even begun the next one because I've been so into studying for this one, because this one is like a bit harder. But because I was kind of on a time crunch today, because I haven't even started studying for my next test, and it's in 2 days, and it's a unit test as well, and that one's for an AP class, so I really need to. So while I was in this time crunch, I was only really studying things that I really needed to know. For example, there was something about blood types, and I already understood any of it, so I just didn't write that part down. Another way that I stayed motivated was watching the true crime podcast that I watch, which is Rotten Mango. I just mentioned that a few minutes ago, but watching something or listening to a podcast or music while I study for like a short amount of time really just helps me not get distracted, which I understand kind of sounds counterproductive, because if I'm watching or listening to something else, then how are you actually studying the material? For me, it works. For you, it might not, because I do understand that sounds like kind of silly, I guess. After my studying, I'm going to watch some videos on like my biology topic, which is like genetics and heredity. I'm just in biology 1, so we don't go that deep in. So I personally watch the Amoeba Sisters. We already talked about these channels before in the video, but that's what I'm going to do for the last part. This also helps me stay motivated, at least, because I think the Amoeba Sisters are funny, and even with like Mr. Sin, honestly, he's not that funny, but he goes very fast paced, and that keeps you rather entertained. Studying when tired, the other thing that you want to do to keep motivation is just keep your rewards and the motivation that you set at the beginning of your studying in mind. While I do this, I kind of create little fake scenarios in my head, like I am Rory Gilmore. I haven't even seen Gilmore Girls, but I have a whole Pinterest board for her, or some sort of academic character, or even just a character in my own story, that or I just imagine myself being the top of my class and getting perfect grades, getting into the college I want, and having the life that I want. Is getting an A on this biology test really going to get me there? No, but it does make me feel better about studying, at least. So yeah, just kind of imagine that you are the main character as you're doing this. That sounds so cringy to me, but that's just kind of what I think. Like, I don't exactly think in my head, I am the main character, but like that's kind of like the feeling that I give myself, if that makes any sense at all. Personally, I just really need to wrap up this studying and study for my other test. I'm quite stressed out about it. I mean, I feel like I'm not like really showing it that much, but I am a little bit stressed out about these tests just because I really want to get an A on both of them. I didn't get an A on my last test in human geography, so I want to work really hard this time to hopefully get like a high A. Like I am reaching for a 97 or 98, maybe even 100. That is just really what I want for this time around. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and I will probably review for my biology tomorrow. Tomorrow I don't have much time after school to study. That's why I'm kind of like saying that I need to get it all done today. Anyways, this is not even talking about studying when tired or keeping your motivation. This is just me ranting at this point. I hope that this video was helpful for you. Personally, I feel like it was kind of all over the place, but I was not making it. But obviously I was not trying to make it seem that way. It's kind of hard for me to record videos as I'm studying because I'm like trying to get through this studying and not like very focused on my video. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope that this is helpful, and good luck studying, and if you're still tired, go take a nap.
Most in glasses got me feeling like your clothes are so pretty.